By pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Though dice and woes of life, love deprived, looking her vibe. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise, crystal chandeliers, moments reflected. Often mirrors a pit, quick, ready from ear to ear. Craving and raving and grain, rekindle the flame. Closer she draws near, stay there. Remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, we know our purpose.
Boom. Yes, it is. The truth is what you can see. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. I believe it is our 190th show, season 2. We split it up into a couple seasons. We probably should do like 13 or 14 to split them up, but it is season 2, episode 190. Can I believe we've done that many shows? That's just crazy. Today we've got a full slate. We're going to talk a little bit about some NFL news. We're going to talk about Thunder, of course. They get back in action tomorrow night against the Utah Jazz. And then we're going to talk about that because it's so important what's going on with the Thunder right now as far as the scheduling and what they have coming up and how important it is for us to make the playoffs. And then we're going to talk a little bit about how playoff basketball and season basketball are completely different. And the question is, how is SGA going to adjust once he's not getting all the calls that he should normally be getting when he's not going to the line 14, 15 times, which means he's going to have to finish more and should be and ones than just going to the free throw line. So he's not going to be able to count on getting to the line and getting those extra shots, which means that the rest of the lineup is going to really have to step up, and we're going to talk about that as well. And today we're supposed to be coming to you from, this is Wednesday, and this was the day for me to be at NED'S Starlight Lounge for Wings Wednesday. I'm unhappy that I missed it because, you know, I love those dry NED'S dry rub, those wings. I'm sorry I missed it today, but my knee, I was on it quite a bit yesterday, and then, of course, last night for Fat Tuesday, and it's ice and elevation, ice and elevation, ice and elevation all day today. It's pretty tight, pretty sore, which is another reason why we were on a little late. I may or may not have taken my last lower tabs that I had. But anyway, Thursdays, of course, which is tomorrow, they have fried chicken, liver, and gizzards. I'm not a fan, but I know a lot of people are fans of the gizzards. I, however, am not a fan of gizzards or liver, but a lot of people do it. So, but they are open tomorrow, or excuse me, they're open Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 11 to 12. And then on Thursdays and Fridays, they're open from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. And, of course, they do have live music. My guy, Brantley Cowan, plays there quite a bit. So you should go check that out. And then, of course, Saturdays, they open from 10:30 to 2 a.m. because of brunch. And then, of course, if you've never had their brunch, I highly, highly recommend you going there. And it's from 10:30 to 3 of their brunches. And if you have any catering, man, their catering is second to none. It's very delicious. Theirs are also Rococo's. Those two are my two favorites. I think they're 1A and 1B, depending on how you like or who you want to go with. It doesn't matter. They're still both quite the same to me. Catering, you can contact them at 405-810-0208. And he did cater my 60th birthday party, which was fantastic. And thank you again for doing that for me, Neddy. That was fantastic. But anyway, NED'S Starlight Lounge, 7301 North May in Oklahoma City. You can call for reservations at 405-242-6100. That's 405-242-6100 if you want to call for reservations. But today is Wings Wednesday, and of course tomorrow is the fried chicken, liver, and gizzard. Now I'm telling you what, it is well worth it. It's one of my favorite things to do, and probably I might, in fact, Thursday I may go by there tomorrow night because I haven't had any fried chicken in a while, so I may swing through there since I missed today. I may go do that tomorrow and go see my guys over there, Big Ned and Little Ned, and of course Lindsay. She's their Ned's wife, who takes care of everything, makes sure everything runs smoothly, and you got to have that behind. Every good man is a better woman. That's what I was told, and I do believe that because you cannot be successful unless your partner is doing all the right things. Like somebody the other day was talking about Brittany Mahomes to me and what an idiot she is. I go, dude, She can't be an idiot. She's the owner of a team. I said, now, you're judging her for the TikToks that she does with Mahomes' brother. She does that to help you do his views for him to make money. That's why she does it. But I'm telling you, Patrick Mahomes cannot be as successful he is without having a good wife behind him. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. She has to be on top of the bill. She has to be on top of everything. She has to make sure he was hurt, making sure that he was doing his treatments right, that he had everything that he needed, that she was keeping the kids away and not letting the kids bug him while he was doing his thing. So there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that you don't see. So you can't judge her because of his brother and a TikTok. That's how his brother makes money. Okay, his brother makes money off TikTok and she helps him. So, for you to say that, I'm totally off on that. There's no man that I know that is successful that doesn't have a good woman behind him, especially when it comes to athletics, because there's so many other things that are involved in an athlete's life that you have to have a good woman. And if you have a stable environment, then it's better. You look at Tom Brady, Giselle taking care of business the whole time. And then, the deal was he was supposed to retire. He broke his word to her. And I don't care what man you are, you break your word to your wife, you history. You history. You cannot do that. You cannot break your word to your wife or you are in trouble. So tomorrow night, the Thunder, of course, we're going to go into more detail about it tomorrow. But anyway, the Thunder game is tomorrow, not today. We host we go to Salt Lake City, and remember, we have the Jazz tomorrow, and then Phoenix on Friday, which is going to be really tough because what a way to start the coming back from the All-Star break is you go to Phoenix after going to Utah, two of the toughest places to play. Well, Utah is one of the toughest places to play, if not the toughest arena to play in the NBA. And then, of course, you got to go to Phoenix and deal with Kevin Durant if he's going to be playing and healthy. But anyway, right now the Thunder are a plus 2.5. Right now, underdogs. The over/under is 239.5. And coming off the All-Star break, I don't know what's going to happen with that. But the Jazz are 29-31. The Thunder are 28-29, and we are currently opposite of each other because the Thunder uh, are currently one game ahead. We are 10th. They are 11th. So this is going to be a tough test for the Thunder. It's a must-win. These last 25 games are must-wins for the Thunder. We can't be out there messing around. You have to be able to be ready. Now, in the 25 games, I don't know if you talked about the show yesterday, but on my show After the Storm, I break this whole thing down. But yesterday, we talked a little bit about it, and myself and Drew Hinthorn of HuskerDrewPicks.com and Ben Delman, we talked about everything, and we talked about how I predicted that the Thunder would be 12-13 in their last 25 games, which puts them at 40-42. And Ben and Drew both had them at 11-14 in their last 25 games. And the schedule is really, really tight. And when you pull it up, you'll see what I mean. We go to Utah and then to Phoenix. And then we have the Kings on back-to-back and the Lakers in three. We have, what do we have? We have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-game homestand. We have the Kings twice, the Lakers once, Utah twice, and then Golden State. So in that 6-game homestand, you have got to win 4 of those games. And of these first, like I said, the first 2 games, we got to split these. And then you have that 6-game home streak, and you got to win 4 of those. So you've got to start out getting 5 out of the 5 of the next 7 games. It's important. It's important that we do that. We've got to get 5 out of our next 7. It's just you can't fall behind. You can't go 3-3. You have to get the win at Utah if you can, because that distances us from them. Phoenix, I believe that's going to be a loss. I don't know how we can beat them, but you never know. If KD's still not back, he's not playing. We match up well with them, especially with them losing Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson. So we may have a chance at that, but it depends on who's playing on that roster. And then, of course, the Kings back-to-back. This is when Drew said the Kings are going to fall this second half of the season. He does not think they can sustain where they've been, and I think Mike Brown has turned them around, and especially on the defensive end, which is you notice that Golden State has faltered more on the defensive end since Mike Brown has left and gone to Sacramento. So anyway, when you look at these next 7 games, it's going to be hugely important for the Thunder to win 5 of these 7. You've got to win at Utah. Hopefully we can get Phoenix, but you've got back-to-back games against Sacramento. And then when we go back and we look at the standings, you see the Kings where they are. Okay, they are 4 games ahead of us, and you play them twice. The Lakers are right behind us, 2 games behind us. We play them. So those are games that you have got to win, and know that in that middle, because that whole middle pack is going to be up and down, up and down. So you've got to win the game, especially at home. And the Thunder are 17-12, I believe is what I saw. Thunder is 17-12 at home and like 11-19, I believe, on the road. Something like that. So anyway, everybody's got to come out and support the Thunder because it is so important that we get these next games under our belts. And then when you look at where we are as far as in the NBA, we're averaging 117 points a game and we're giving up 116. Okay? We're 20th in the league in giving up points, and we're 3rd as far as scoring. So we got to continue that, but our defense has got to step up, which is what I had talked about when I was giving out the grades yesterday. As part of what I was saying. Lou Dort that's the reason why I gave him the grade I gave him 7 A's, because he's got to focus on defense. The Thunder have got to focus on defense. And then when you look at field goal percentage, we're 5th. Okay. As far as that, that's really good. But then we're 20th as far as our field goal percentage. So we're 5th in holding our opponents, but then we're 22nd in 3-point, which makes no sense. But I think it's the assist-to-turnover ratio where we're ranked 2nd in the NBA that clouds those numbers a little bit, because it's hard to say, okay, we're giving up we're in 20th out of 30 teams as far as giving up points, but we're 5th as far as being stingy in defense. Makes no sense, does it? But I think it's the assist-to-turnovers, how we lead the league, or 2nd, and forcing turnovers for our opponents. And that's how we get those easy transition baskets, which gets us into the flow of the game, which allows us to be more productive. And you can see in the 3-point shooting, we are 13th in 3-point shooting, 33.5. And it's not bad. And then when you break it down as far as Thunder grades, when you look at our shooting percentage, and this is something I wanted to do yesterday, but I did not have it, so I redid it today so that we would have it up here. SGA is shooting 34% from 3. Josh is shooting 31% from 3. Dort is shooting 35% from 3. J-Dub 32, and Jay Will is shooting, Drew's boy is shooting 45% from 3. That's crazy. That's good for a big man. That's much better than what Muscala was doing. Hey, Drew, what you doing, brother?
What's happening, my friend?
Nothing, breaking down the shooting percentage. We're talking about the Thunder and how important that game is tomorrow, and we're plus 2.5 underdogs, and at 239.5. Huh?
I said, happy hump day. How are you feeling today?
Well, my knee is just it's pretty bad right now, bro. Knee is all swollen, bro.
You get old if you hurt your knee out drinking on.
No. It's already been hurt, and I was on it all day yesterday, and then all night last night standing up. So it was pretty swollen. It was hurting pretty bad this morning. So I took my last couple of lower tabs. So I'm moving a little sluggish today. But
how was your Fat Tuesday?
It was all right, man. It wasn't like it usually. You know how Fat Tuesdays used to be fun. I don't know. It's just because I'm just not as into it as I used to be, or what. But Pearls was okay. Cats was slow. Did the Singo thing, but I ran into some friends, and so that was good. I hadn't seen in a while, so that was good with that. Just sitting there shouldn't be.
Jambalaya?
No, I did not get any. Did not get any jambalaya. Did not get any catfish etouffee, or didn't do any of that.
Oh boy.
Should have. Yeah, I know.
Well,
Pearls
was
was
the point in getting out there if you weren't going to do that?
Well, Pearls was an hour and a half wait for your food.
Right.
I'm not waiting an hour and a half. You waiting an hour and a half for food?
No, I'd push somebody away at the bar and order from there.
Of course you would, Drew. But I'm trying to be nice. It is Black History Month, so I'm trying to be gracious and a wonderful person. You know what I'm saying? It sounded really good in my mind. But anyway, but that was my take on the Thunder. I was just going through the shooting percentage and what was going on with that. But, in NFL, Drew, I'm just going to go ahead. We'll just go ahead and bust because I was waiting for you to get on anyway. We're going to break down what's happening with the NFL currently. Okay, do you think you can win without a franchise quarterback?
No, absolutely not.
I mean, because you look at what the Bears. That's the whole thing with them. Do you trade Justin Fields for Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud, or do you keep him and trade your first pick and get a better offensive line, get some help on defense, find him a number one wide receiver?
Well, the only thing with the Bears is, Bryce Young or Jim Fields is 6-20 as a starter. So let's say they don't go 500 next year. I mean, what you're going to get for him, if you decide to trade him next year, is going to be considerably less than what you can get for him this year.
No doubt.
So I see the reasoning behind maybe wanting to trade him and try something else, because if he throws another 5-12 on the board next year, and then they try to move him, the market for him is going to be considerably less than what it is right now.
Oh, there's no doubt.
But if you make the conscious decision that that's your guy, and you start putting some pieces around him, and you're looking towards the future, then it's kind of like Dallas. If you make a decision that that's your guy and that's the one you're going to stick with, then I get what you're saying.
Right.
Start putting some receivers around him, and I don't know.
Well, because I put it like this. Well, Jalen Hurts Dak Prescott made his jump when they got Amari, right? And then Jalen Hurts made his jump when they got A.J. Brown. Josh Allen made his jump. Yep. Do you know his completion percentage went up 11 points after he got Diggs? 11 points. I can
see that. And with Jalen Hurts, that helped to have the best offensive line in the league.
Yeah, it did. And plus, you got A.J. Brown. That helped out tremendously because if you don't have an A.J. Brown out there making plays, then, it doesn't matter how good your offensive line is because you're one-dimensional. So, okay, but I agree with you. You got to have a franchise quarterback out there. But to me, with the Bears, you need so much help, okay? Why would you not trade your number one pick to get the 8th pick, and then you got the 8th, and you got several others in there that you can do some stuff with, and you have a couple. What do you have? 4 first-round picks and 3 first-round picks. You need an offensive lineman. Okay, you need a defensive guy. You need a wide receiver. There's things you need. Okay, that can make you better. I don't think to me, Bryce Young is 6 foot tall, and Justin Fields is running for his life. Do you think Bryce Young's smaller? How much more is he gonna have to run for his life if you're not gonna fix the issue? Because if you don't trade him, you do that. Well, you don't get any alignment. What are you gonna get? So,
well, let me ask you this: who do you think was the better quarterback coming out of college, Bryce Young or Justin Fields?
Bryce, but I think C.J. Stroud is. I think C.J. Stroud because my deal is this: Russell Wilson made the short quarterback viable.
Or C.J. Stroud, either one. Do you think Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud are better than Justin? They have a better grade than Justin Fields coming into the draft? I don't know.
Man, I don't know,
it's
Drew.
But
it is. But my thing is this: right now, though, Drew, Justin has had a couple years in the league. Okay, you see what I'm saying? He's had a year in, so he knows kind of what to expect. But that's what I'm saying to him. To me, is he does 2 things. One, he goes wherever Jalen Hurts went with that quarterback guy. Second thing, the Bears got to do, you got to get him an offensive line, and you got to get him a weapon. You've got to get him a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's on a really bad team right now.
Yep. So, but anyway, and the rest of it. So to me, it's like, I think that the question is, Kyler Murray, he's small. He worked out for a little bit, but he's small. Baker Mayfield, small.
Yeah.
Nothing against small quarterbacks, but at some point, you've got to move and be able to throw, but you got to have an offensive line behind you to protect you. Now the question is, Lamar Jackson.
Well, and then in the NFL now, you look at the offensive linemen, most of them are 6'6", 6'7". Most defensive linemen are 6'4", 6'5". 5'8" quarterbacks just don't survive in the league.
Yeah,
5'9",
6 foot. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. It really is, and he is dynamic, no doubt. But I just think the upside for C.J. Stroud is going to be better than Bryce. That's just me. Now, do you think that Lamar is worth the fully guaranteed?
Say that again.
Do you think Lamar is worth a fully guaranteed contract?
No, just because the style of football that he plays, not because he's not good, just because he's so I guess it's kind of a double-edged sword with him. What makes him great is what also makes him a high risk.
Right, and we were talking about that
a lot. Go ahead.
Now we were talking about. I was talking that with a guy last night, and what he was saying, Drew, he goes, yeah, that's true, but on the other side of that, look at Lamar's record. And I go, yeah, and he's missed the last two postseasons. He's at the end of the last two seasons, he hasn't played. They started out fantastic, but he's missed the last 6 games, and then then he didn't want to play at the end because he doesn't have any guarantees, which I'm okay with him not coming back to play. I mean, I get that. But now you're like, okay, they're going to franchise tag you. If they franchise tag you, you can say not to play. And somebody goes, well, I wouldn't play. I go, so you're going to sit out. That would be 24 games. So you're going to miss a year and a half. We saw what happened with Deshaun Watson. He shut out. Yeah. He said, you sit out a complete year. You're already not that great of a thrower anyway. What is that really going to do to you?
Yeah, it actually might help him. I don't know, but we're going to find out. He needed to heal up quite a bit.
Yeah.
But to me, if you go to trying to change the way he plays, and he's not a pocket passer. He's a mobile. He can throw good on the run. I just don't know that. I wouldn't guarantee his money. To me, he's just too dangerous to get hurt. He stays hurt all the time.
Well, my deal is this: he's got his mom representing him, and then she gets to hear how they really feel about him. Okay, and that's her baby boy, and she ain't trying to hear that. Okay, she's just not. Which is why you need an agent, because the agent gets to filter and gets to go, okay, well, they're saying this, but this is what we need. Here's how we counter that. And if they're not getting any advice from anybody, and they're just going on, well, this guy got that. Well, it don't matter that guy got that. And it's just like, what's our guy at Daniel Jones wanting $45 million. You're not getting $45 million, bro. No way.
Yeah, but
no
the thing
way.
Is, Matt, that's what the market's going to be.
Yeah, but their franchise. But Drew, their franchise is tagging him at 32.
Yeah. Is that what they came?
That's what they're going to do. They think they're going to franchise. They're going to pay Barkley and franchise Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Or either pay or the other. But to me, can't you franchise two guys? I thought you could franchise two.
I think you just franchise one. I think they have to pick whichever one.
Okay, well, to me, you franchise Daniel Jones and you pay Saquon something. You're not giving him $16 million, but you got to give him something to make it worth it. Because without him,
I don't blame him for asking for that money. If Dak Prescott's making $50 million,
well, that's why. That's what I'm saying. Teams are not going to give quarterbacks that much. You look at. They've got to pay Kirk Cousins again. It's just, I'm sorry, you're paying these guys way too much money for what they're bringing to the table. And, it's just like, everybody talk about, well, Mahomes did a 10-year contract. Josh Allen did a 7-year contract. Well, the reason why they did that is because he wanted Diggs to get paid. He wanted his defensive lineman to get paid. He wanted whomever, That's why they took longer contracts, less guarantees, even though Mahomes' contract is guaranteed. Do you know that his salary is not guaranteed, but I think, what is it, in March, whatever, 17th, whatever, his contract is paid for the 2025 season, 2024 season. Not this year, but next year. His contract for this year has already been fully guaranteed from last year. So what they do is they said at the beginning of the year, you guarantee my contract for the following year. Not the current year, but the following year. So that's how they did his contract. And it allows him to they're still going to have some money come up somewhere, but they can split it up. So, I mean, does Joe Burrow take that? Or these guys go, no, I want all 4 years. I want all my money, and then 4 years later, I want all my money again.
Right.
Because I don't.
Well, with Mahomes, it just allows them to offset some money so that they could add other pieces around him.
Yeah,
but
he could have took more. Drew, at the end of this cycle, do you know he's going to be
100%.
the 10th or 11th highest paid quarterback?
That's
insane. But once again, he has the advantage. Dak is the only one who has the advantage of him because of all the money he makes off the field because he is the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Agreed?
Right.
Okay. Next thing
No,
is
100%.
last thing about the NFL. Do you think this, with the possibility of the new trend of teams winning with quarterbacks on rookie contracts, that's going to make these guys not want to spend all this money on these guys and go find a rookie and sure up the defense and pay everybody else, and then go get a rookie quarterback to fill in? But then again, if you do that, can you win a championship with a? I mean, Chiefs did it. The Eagles got to the championship with the rookie contract. The Burrow almost got there in Cincinnati. Do you think that's viable?
Yes and no. I mean, kind of a fence straddler answer, but they've kind of hit the lottery. A couple last 2 or 3 years with these quarterbacks that are franchise. I don't know. I still think the jury's still out on Jalen Hurts, but
I agree.
Burrow's for Josh Allen for sure.
Well, Josh Allen took a 7-year deal. Mahomes took 10. Josh took 7.
Yeah.
So now it's time for you got to pay Herbert, you got to pay Burrow and Trevor Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
And Jalen.
And Jalen.
Yep. And remember, Kirk Cousins is coming up again. So Kirk Cousins, which is the most insane thing, will be making more money than Mahomes.
That guy's a payroll bandit.
Oh, he is. It's unbelievable, isn't it, Drew? It's unbelievable, isn't it? How much money I get? It's just unbelievable to me. I just don't get it. Now, I pulled up, Drew. We're gonna do today. We're gonna do the NFC East, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take each conference, and then those that have the 2 best teams, I'm gonna put those in and go. Here are their home and away games. They're not in order. Okay. And then tomorrow we'll do another division. So today we're doing the NFC East. We're going to do the Cowboys and the Eagles. The Cowboys' home games will clearly the Eagles, Commanders, and Giants. Okay. Now the out of conference are the Seahawks, the Patriots, the Jets, the Lions, and the Rams.
I mean, that's pretty favorable.
That's pretty favorable.
I mean, and you get the Rams and the Lions and the Seahawks all at home, right?
Yep. And the Patriots.
Yeah, I mean, and then the Jets. I mean, they're still going to be the Jets.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, they're going to be heavy favorites in every one of those games.
Yeah, it depends on if Derek Carr goes to the Jets. I think that could be an L for the Cowboys. But other than that, I don't see them really having a hiccup there. I mean, of course they may because they are the Cowboys and it is Dak. But for the most part, that's 7-1.
Yeah, I mean, and then. They always have one hiccup at home that they'll blow a lead
or something. That's what I'm saying. So that's 7-1, don't you think? Easy.
Yep.
Okay, then your away games.
Go
ahead.
I think that they'll be the favorite to win the NFC East, even though the Eagles may have the better team. But you're going to have a year tape on Jalen Hurts, and you're going to have some teams that are going to make him throw the football. And I don't think that the Eagles are going to be 13-4 next year.
And remember, they lost their offensive coordinator and their defensive coordinator.
And they're going to lose some guys. They're going to lose some guys on the defensive line.
Yeah.
Kelsey's probably going to retire. I mean, they're going to lose some guys.
Yep. All they know is Lane Johnson's come back. But anyway, your Cowboys away games, Drew, out of conference, are at the Cardinals, at the 49ers, at the Dolphins, at the Bills, at the Panthers, and at the Chargers.
Man, they need to be
tough.
They need to go 3-3 in those games.
Yeah, those away games.
Non-con.
Yeah, non-conference.
Yep. Got to feel pretty good about it. I mean, you should get a win, probably at the Cardinals and at the Panthers, and then usually play the Chargers pretty well for
Yep.
whatever reason. And
but then you got to go
but
to
boy,
Miami and to Buffalo and to San Francisco.
Yeah. And San Fran, there might be a little payback there. So we'll see. We'll see what San Fran has to offer at quarterback.
Depends on what their quarterback is. It really does. And then the Eagles necessarily don't have that. I mean, they've got a more favorable schedule. Their out of conference are the Cardinals, the Niners, the Bills, the Dolphins, and the Vikings at home.
Cardinals,
Niners,
Bills, that's a tough one.
Cardinals, Bills, Niners, Dolphins, and Vikings all at home. And remember, it's a dome stadium, so it ain't like they got an advantage weather-wise.
Mm-hmm. Well, Philadelphia is not a dome stadium.
I mean, Philly, yeah. I was thinking about Philadelphia's dome. It's not domed.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Depending on when the place, I mean, Buffalo's not going to – Buffalo will be a tough one for them. They'll probably beat Minnesota. I mean, they should be all right there.
Yeah, you thinking 6-2?
Probably.
Yeah, see, I got them. I got them at 5-3. I think they're going to lose to the Bills. I think they're going to lose to the Niners, and I think they're going to lose either to the Dolphins or the Vikings. Because remember, they spanked the Vikings last year.
Well, they got right.
And so I think there's a little payback there. So I think they're 5-3 is kind of what I was coming up there. Now, their away games are at the Rams, at the Patriots, at the Jets, at the Seahawks, at Tampa Bay, and then at the Chiefs.
Boy, I probably see them losing 2 of those, maybe at the Seahawks and at the Chiefs.
Yep. Now but remember they got to play the Patriots in where they play in Foxborough.
That'll be a tough game because Belichick will have that defense.
Yep, and then they got to play the Jets at the Jets in the Meadowlands. So
it's all really going to depend on what the Jets put out there. I mean,
it depends on who their quarterback is because their defense you already know is going to be ridiculous. They have to have a quarterback.
Yeah,
and if they don't get Derek Carr, because I don't think Aaron Rodgers is the match for that. I just can't wait for him to get back. I can't wait for him to get back so we can tell him what he thinks about the rumors about the Chiefs. I mean, about the Packers being ready to move on from him. I can't wait to hear what he has to say. But anyway, I've got the Cowboys and the Eagles both going 11-6, Drew.
Yeah, I mean that's probably about right. 12-5, 11-6. I mean they're going to be in the same positions they were this year, you know. But Philly ended up 13-4, but
yeah, but Philly got lucky. Their schedule was ridiculously easy. Oh my God.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Their schedule was ridiculously easy this year, Drew.
Yeah.
So, but I look at, the Cowboys, their away games, I mean, really you got to go to Buffalo, really. You know what I'm saying? And the Niners, depends on who the Niners have at quarterback, right? Depends on who the Dolphins have at quarterback. And that's really your only, I mean, the Panthers, maybe not. Who knows what the hell you're going to get out of the Panthers. They don't have a quarterback either right now. And we had just discussed that. You don't think the Panthers are going to be very good?
No. They're just kind of a dumpster fire. We'll see what they do. But, I mean, Dallas should be able to. I mean, as long as Dallas is not injured and they go in there healthy, I mean, they should win that game.
You would think, right?
Mm-hmm.
You would think. Okay. All right, we're going to take a quick break and we'll come back and do your picks and talk about last night because, man, the Big 12 was crazy. And I'm going to tell you what.
Yeah, it was. Again, crazy night.
Yep. And then that Tennessee game, what the hell was that? Why are you shooting a fadeaway step back three?
Yeah.
Is that the best shot you could come up? And you shooting an air ball?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was bad.
I was like, what in the hell? So anyway, that was frustrating. I was in there right there with you, bro. I was like, what in the world? I couldn't even enjoy myself because I'm too busy. That's why I don't gamble. Right there. It's just
A&M, A&M's a big win for A&M. They've been playing well over the last couple of weeks.
Yep.
So they're moving up. Their team, that's moving up on the seed line.
Yep, and OSU is an 11th seed right now, which is I just don't see that.
Dude. OSU is in danger of not making the NIT,
Yep.
much less the NCAA.
Yep. This Saturday is huge.
Well, yeah, and then Wood's not going to play because he came off the bench. So he's out Saturday. No Avery Johnson. No Avery Saturday.
Yep.
So I mean, the chances of beating Kansas State are not very good.
No. Well, we'll be there cheering them on the alumni game. So anyway, I want to thank Collaborative Logic for getting us up and running. If you have any needs for any computers or software written to make your office run smoother or website design, they are the people to talk to over there at Collaborative Logic. Hit my guy Russell Williford up over there. Mark Long over at SRB, even though he's in D.C. right now at a conference, you can hit them up for any engineering, surveying, or planning. Our guy Oak Grove Trucking and our guy Jose Fierro, Greg and Max Nafy at Nafco ran into Max last night, by the way. He said, "What's up?"
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I saw Max last night, so got to see him. And then, of course, last but not least, YNB, family-owned and operated since 1912.
The bank that makes things happen.
Yes, they are. They're an equal housing lender and a member of the FDIC. You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. You can pre-qualify, or you can go in and see our guys over there because they prefer to
go see the Horn Man. It's a beautiful day out. Get outside, roll the windows down, go down there and see the Horn Man or Nathan Taylor, Carson Wright, or what time is it? You can still go see Ken. He's still there, maybe.
You got 2 minutes. What is it? 4 minutes to 3:00. Now, Kent, we're just kidding,
bro.
Hurry. We're just kidding, Kent. We're just giving you a hard time, bro. We are just giving you a hard time. And then, of course, tonight's picks for you. Man.
What's up, boys?
Hey, what's up? What's up, Harry Stig? Harry, what's the haps?
Doing all right, fellas.
Drew, you
have a good Tuesday last night? You have a good Fat Tuesday?
It was all right. It was all right. I got to see some friends. That was the only good thing about it. Didn't get a chance to eat anything good, but
oh yeah,
I got you. I wasn't going to wait an hour.
I know. I told him, what was the point of going out if you weren't going to go have some oysters on the half shell or some jambalaya or?
Well, I did want some, but bro, I'm not gonna wait an hour and a half for food. Not doing it.
Nope.
I'm not. No, I'm not doing it. I'm just not. And Drew, of course, just push somebody out at the bar. Yeah, I can see that. Get out of my way. I'm sitting down. Yeah, that's at Pearls. Yeah, that'll go over really well. But anyway, you got Houston, the Cougars minus 15. Drew, that's a lot of money in there. A lot of number.
Yeah.
A huge number.
Well, the place is going to be rocking and rolling tonight. The new number one should be a good crowd. Natural rivalry with Tulane coming in there, so I look for Houston to play well tonight. I actually look for them to kind of turn it on here the last couple of weeks. They really want that number one seed in the South. So,
do you think Kansas is going to get the Midwest?
Oh yeah, as long as they beat Texas. I mean, it's going to on that last game of the year. It's in Austin. It'll probably be
it's going to be a tough one. I'll watch that one for sure.
I think that may be your, if Texas, you would probably think that Houston probably gets the one seed over Texas, so they'll probably go south. But I could see them putting Texas in the Midwest and putting Kansas as a 2 there. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
that or ship Texas out. That or ship Texas out west.
Yeah, they may ship Texas. They want Kansas. Who do you want really in? Do you want Kansas or do you want Texas?
Well, yeah, I mean, Kansas guarantees a sellout in Des Moines and Kansas City. So.
Yes. I mean, especially in Kansas City at home. And they just played there, 2 weeks before that?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, then you
got the Jayhawk Invitational.
Yep, and then you got Wisconsin +1.
Yeah, tough game tonight. That's you got Iowa coming in there. Wisconsin coming off a tough loss at home last weekend. They're playing for their lives in the tournament, and which I think they're out right now. But they need a bit. This would be a quad 1 win for them. So it's a big night for Wisconsin. So we'll see. I'm taking the home team there.
Then you take you're doing wow. UNC Notre Dame. You're doing over 148.
Yeah, North Carolina. Right now Lenardi's got them as the first team out of the tournament, and which is just unbelievable. But they have to win, and I from what I'm reading, they're making some lineup changes, and Notre Dame shoots a lot of threes, which will play into North Carolina's hands. Hopefully, that tempo gets turned up a little bit, and to me, their offense is just stagnant. They've got to get out and run. I mean, last year in the tournament, they averaged almost 80 points a game, and I think over the last 6 games, they're averaging about 65 points a game. So they've got to figure out something. And I think tonight you're going to see a lot of threes shot in this game.
Yeah, because
whether they make them or not.
I'm like 148 points, is a lot of points. Don't you think, Ben, that's a lot of points?
Yeah, yes, I do for that.
75 each.
Yeah, I know, but Drew,
Yeah.
that just seems like a
I mean,
lot.
I love the points. I mean, but that's also why I like college basketball, because I like the D. But I think these two teams on that floor pretty solid.
Yeah,
and these two teams normally put up big numbers against each other.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay,
I saw 75-80.
Yeah, then you got Belmont -2.
Yeah, Belmont at home. The only chance they have is to win their conference. So tonight it's a big game for them. It's one of the few games that they actually play against a decent team. So, and I don't know if you've ever watched Belmont play, but they're a pretty fun team to watch, and they got a former Tar Heel on the bench. So,
there we go. There we go. It comes out, Ben. You noticed that.
King Rice is their coach.
Oh, what a shock! It comes out in the end.
But Indiana State comes in out of the Missouri Valley at 20-9, and Belmont's 19-10. And this line has been gradually going up all day. So the general public's on Belmont, which scares me, but we'll see.
It cracks me up. You crack me up, Drew. Florida +3.
Yeah. Big game tonight in Gainesville. I mean, that line is gradually gone up too. So I'm seeing that the general public again on Kentucky coming in. But Florida normally plays Kentucky tough in Gainesville. That's a tough place to play. Florida, this. I mean, if they don't win this one, they're kind of in the same boat as Oklahoma State. They may not make the NIT either. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's kind of tough. And then Syracuse and Clemson. Now you're going under 145, but that seems about right. Those teams don't really. I mean, I just don't see them scoring a lot.
Well, that and Clemson, for whatever reason, seems to play a lot better defense at home than they do on the road. And Syracuse doesn't shoot it near as well on the road as they do in the Carrier. So and Syracuse, I tell you, they've come off 3 tough games where it's been down to the wire. The last 3 games they played, NC State, Duke, and who am I missing there? Pitt, were their last 3 games, and all have been pretty physical games. I think they're a little beat up, so we'll see. I look for Clemson to lock them down. Clemson's a tough defensive team at home, so.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that one. Then, of course, you're closing out with the UConn Huskies, the boys, not the girls.
Yeah, that's kind of a Vegas play there. The Providence is a pretty good team, but UConn, they're due to play well. They haven't really played well over the last few weeks. They've kind of been up and down, but this is a big spot for them tonight. At home against a ranked Providence team gives them another quad 1 win, with Creighton getting screwed over last night in that game.
Yeah, wasn't that crazy, dude? Wow.
I don't know how you call that foul. The guy throws the ball away. I really it would have gone to overtime, and Creighton would have covered in overtime, guaranteed.
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress. But that UConn's got a chance tonight to solidify a 1 seed in the Big East tournament, which would be huge for them. So.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And then, of course, in Big 12 scores last night, some real important games. Texas took care of business at home against Iowa State.
Say that again.
I said Texas took care of business at home against Iowa State.
Yeah, it kind of surprised me, that margin of victory there. Iowa State kind of hitting a little bit of a lull here, and Texas is turning it up a notch. So I wasn't surprised that Texas won that game. I was just surprised by the spread in which they won.
Yeah. Then, of course, Baylor and Kansas State. That game was closer than what the score says. That's 65-75, but the game was way closer than that.
Yeah, it was a physical basketball game. I liked Kansas State yesterday, and it kind of went the way I thought it would go. That's the Octagon's a tough place to play, and Baylor coming off an emotional loss at Kansas. I thought it would be tough for them to turn it up again 2
Yeah,
games in a
that
row.
was a great pick for you. And then OU, dude,
Ah,
how can
see,
they
I
play
can't
so
figure
good and look so
tell you.
bad?
Yeah, what I say 2 weeks ago that you just never know what you're going to get out of OU. I knew better to bet on them or against them because they burn you either way. You don't know who's going to show up.
Oh, did you watch that game last night, Ben, at all, or were you doing hockey?
I saw the highlights. It was pretty atrocious, to be honest. I never know how to, like he was just saying, how they're going to show up. Like every single time that I feel like that I've taken them on any sort of spread with any kind of stat that I think might stick out, it always seems to kind of bite me in the butt. So I don't know. Gambling wise, they're not very good, and then watching them on TV, they're not very good either, from what I've seen.
You just don't know what you're going to get out of them.
I just don't know which team is going to show up. Yeah, that's my thing.
Crapshoot.
Because last night I was looking at them like, what are? I mean, the turnovers they had. I'm going, what are you doing? Oh my God, dude, it was bad. It was bad, Drew.
Yeah,
I was just like, man,
bad fundamentals really bug me in any sport. I don't care what it is, but yeah, that one.
They miss a lot of open shots last night too.
A lot of open shots, and it's just, I mean, to me, it's like the little things. You know what I mean? It's like, guys, you guys got to, you all aren't even making the basic little plays. Yeah, you're not even making the plays that you should be making. You're not even making those. So that was pretty frustrating.
6 weeks ago that both in-state teams probably not even going to make the NIT. I hope Oklahoma State gets a win out of here. I think they can. But I really think OSU might be 500. I mean, they really might be, and just if they may have to win a couple games in the Big 12 tournament.
Well, that's what I thought. I thought they were going to have to win because you got Kansas State this Saturday, then we play Baylor Monday.
Yep.
It just doesn't get any better. And then we turn around and play at Tech. So those are your next 3 games. Kansas State at home Saturday, Tech at Tech next Saturday, and Baylor at home Monday.
That is rough.
That's a rough schedule for them.
Don't look now, but if that all plays out, they're probably going to play OU on Wednesday in the Big 12.
Big 12, which would probably you just got to beat them again, which is going to be tough because you don't know which the hell. And then you got Kansas. The winner of that has Kansas. So it just doesn't. It just
have fun.
Yeah, it just doesn't get any better either way when you look at that. Now, Ben, I don't know if you heard us talking about the Cowboys, kind of Cowboys and Eagles. We did the East schedule. Is what we did.
Yep.
Do you have any thoughts on that?
Man, I was kind of glancing over their schedule earlier, and I think that the Cowboys have a great home schedule. I think they might only lose 1 or 2 games if at most. That's just me from looking outside at this point. But I think the Eagles are going to change a lot, and I think that between those 2 teams, if you're going through the top 2 teams in the league in that division, I really think that the Cowboys have a great chance of going past it, especially with the Eagles losing both their coordinators, at least 1 or 2 offensive linemen, I would think, and everybody's getting a little bit older too on each side. I think, and obviously some defensive linemen. I don't think Sue and those guys are going to sign back at least until later in the year.
When the 3 linemen, Drew, that you thought they were losing, the Eagles?
Yeah, easily. I mean, I think they're going to lose a couple defensive linemen and a couple offensive linemen. So
yeah, I can see them losing 2 on each side, and that would be detrimental because that team. I mean, that that core of all those vets that they had, that they do their job, they do it right, they do it well. Those guys are going to be kind of moving on a little bit, getting a little too old. So I don't remember exactly who they played on their away games, the Cowboys, but I saw them about 7-1.
Well, hold on, I'll pull up their deal right now. The Cowboys away games out of conference are the Cardinals, the Niners, the Dolphins, the Bills, the Panthers, and the Chargers.
I could see them going 3-3 there.
Yep.
I think that'd be great if they could do that. If they could pull off 3-3, I mean, the Niners, Dolphins, Bills, I think are the only ones that are going to be a little tough. But I think they could easily take the Cardinals, Panthers. The Chargers just seem to lose games, so I can't bet on them anymore. I liked them a couple of years ago with Herbert. Like whenever he had his first start, when he got that when he got that start for Tyrod, I believe. But yeah, I pretty much ever since then I can't gamble on them to win anything. So they just give games away at the end.
Yeah, it was Teddy
So I
Bridgewater.
going about 3-3 there.
Yeah, it was Teddy Bridgewater, so he started for.
Oh yeah, Teddy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And then the Eagles away games are at the Rams, at the Patriots, at the Jets, at the Seahawks, at the Buccaneers, and at the Chiefs. I only see 3 losses there max for them. Well, you should.
Yeah. I could see him losing 4 just depending on the Jets. I think that's the only and they could beat the Patriots too. I'm not saying they won't, but you never like going into Arrowhead. Sorry, I never like going into Gillette up there. So, but I could see him easily beating the Rams. Obviously, then the Jets just depends if they end up getting a quarterback. I don't think Rodgers would fit there very well, on my opinion. I think Carr would be a better fit. I think Rodgers, you're kind of just going for a year or two. I think the only way he comes back is if he goes to the Packers. Seahawks, you never know with Geno. He's the man. And then Bucks, I don't really know what you're going to get there. And Chiefs, that's L.
You said Geno's the man.
Geno is the man.
Oh my God, Drew, you want to
Finally
comment
getting
on
his time
Geno
to
being
shine.
the man?
Franchises next year up in Seattle. So I mean, watch out.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he's had his one game, man. His 1 year. He is
Good
who
for
he
him
is.
though. He deserved it.
Oh, I agree.
Crap he's
I
going
agree.
through.
But he is who he is. That's what I think on that.
Yeah.
Now, yesterday in hockey, we had a full slate yesterday in hockey, though, Ben.
Yeah, decent amount of games last night.
Starting out with the Canadians and the Devils. I didn't watch that game last night, but I did watch Drew's Blues lose.
Oh
Hey,
yeah,
man.
that it was a good call for Drew on the Canadians there. Picked up a nice little. I think it was like plus 260 or something like that. It was a nice little pickup there.
I mean, that's nice. And they crushed them.
Yeah, they did. And that was in New Jersey too, in Newark. So that was pretty impressive for them. And then the Hurricanes beat up on the Blues. I mean, the Blues just traded their captain away, and they obviously traded away Tarasenko earlier in the year. So this Blues team is about to start looking like a puck line, underdog on all these.
Yeah, I'm sorry about Drew's play.
I know.
Teams doing that.
I know they had a shot at the beginning of the year, just didn't pan out.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, bro.
Binnington and Net just couldn't do what he did a couple years ago, which is understandable because he stood on his head for that Stanley Cup run. But he'll step up next year, I think, and they'll still have a chance to build around him.
Yep, maybe. We'll see. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not as optimistic as both of you guys are. Then of course the Unmighty Ducks lost to the Lightning 6-1.
Point night. You might start if it's one of these teams at the top, you might start taking them by -2.5, and you'll get some plus money. -1.5, you're still looking at like -180. So you're not even making any money on that game. But if you'd have taken it by a lot, there was a couple fights too at the end of the game. Towards the end, they were down about 6-0. Some guys just showing that they have some honor still and some respect. So it was like good at the end, but I didn't really watch too much.
Okay, then of course the Red Wings beat the Caps 3-1.
Yep, 5 games lost in a row for the Caps, still without Ovi. Playoffs are kind of dwindling here. He's got to get back, but I mean, take his time, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. When you've gone through that, that's not something I'm like, hey, dude, take your time.
Yeah, don't rush back.
Yeah, that's a rough.
I think they're okay with it for what he's done for that organization.
Especially if you have to go all the way to Russia. That's a long trip, man. That is a long trip. Then of course the Leafs and the Sabres. The Leafs took care of business 6-3.
Yeah, this was that trade I was talking about. Blues traded their captain to the Maple Leafs about 3 games ago. This was his 3rd game. He just had a hat trick last night, so that would have been nice to have in St. Louis. But yeah, he turns it on when he gets to Toronto. So there it goes.
What does that say about them, dude?
Oh man, that's a hell of a place to play. They're so deep up the middle. I took a ticket right after that trade for them to win the cup again. So I already had a small ticket on them earlier this year, and I took a little bit of a bigger one after that trade.
Oh, okay. Then you got the Canucks and the Predators. Predators taking care of business 5-4.
Yep, just Saros, that goalie in net for the Predators. He stole this one. He had almost 40 saves. Canucks only had the Predators only had 20-something shots. So it's pretty much the best goalie in the net won. So
Yep. Then of course the Kings and the Wild. These names just crack me up, Drew. The Wild beat the Kings 2-1. The Wild, yeah, you wild, man.
The Wild, yeah. Another slow physical game. That's what I was saying yesterday. It was going to be a playoff field. Definitely had that. There was a lot of hits, a lot of battling in front of the net, all that stuff that you like. And it was just a great goalie duel, too. So just another one of those games where the goalies kind of took charge.
And you guys were right on point with the G Knights and the Blackhawks. Hawks taking care of business 3-2 in a shootout. Y'all both right about that could be the game of the night.
Yep.
Yep. That was. Go ahead.
Playing this.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the Hawks were down early. I really thought that they were going to lose. I mean, both times they went down by a goal, both times, and ended up coming back at the end. But this is interesting about the NHL. I don't know if you guys knew this, but so they have a long-term injured reserve. And, like, so, you know, your IR, like football. But if you have it in hockey and it's a long-term injury, that money that they're getting paid frees up into your cap space.
Wow.
So one of the best players for the Golden Knights, he just went on LTIR, so that frees up about $9 million for them in cap space, which in hockey that's a lot more than it sounds like. You know, that's more like freeing up like, I don't know, 30 million in basketball, or, you know, like 25 million in football, something like that. So you're freeing up a ton of money with that, and I think they're going to try and make a trade and move somebody around. But in the playoffs, your cap doesn't count. So if the Knights make it to the playoffs, that guy can come back on as well as the other guy that they're just about to pay $9 million if they trade him. So that's just kind of a weird situation that the NHL does. But
hey, Drew, Ben,
Yep.
we got a question on Skype, and they asked us, what do we think about the shot clock in the OSSAA?
I think it's way overdue.
Whoa.
I mean,
that
if
was
it's
bad.
at 4-2, I mean, what an embarrassment. I mean, they got to speed these games up.
Yeah,
I had a buddy in Arizona that even heard about it. He was on their news or whatever. He saw it. You know, they were talking about it. So I mean, that kind of shows the reach that kind of game just had, and bad effects, I believe, on the sport in general.
well, that
But
and
when
it
I
makes
asked,
yeah. Go ahead, Drew.
I was surprised that the shot clock wasn't already instituted. I mean, I don't understand where
the reasoning is because the OSSA believes that will give an unfair advantage to the teams that are better, the bigger city team.
I mean,
That's they think it will. Which is
what
why
Barry Switz just say?
Was you got to get better. You know, but that's why they do it, because those smaller schools, you know, if you come up to play, because remember 4A is really tougher because you have a lot of those smaller schools that are combined.
Yeah.
So they got to come play a Heritage Hall. They got to play a McGinnis. They got to come up and play. So to them, if you put a shot clock in, that makes it uneven. And like at Dale City, when I was talking to Lenny Hatchett, the coach at Dale City, they had lost a game, and he was one that goes, you know, we don't lose the game if there's a shot clock.
Yeah, well, they have a play clock in football.
I don't think they do in football either. But in football, you got to at least hike the ball. You can't sit there and hold the ball. So I'm assuming there's a play clock.
That's the same thing, right? Though, I mean,
yeah, but the difference is in basketball, you have the players aren't as good, and so that's what I'm saying.
I get you.
They're just afraid that it will make that cavern bigger between the schools if you do that. The smaller schools for sure don't want it.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're going to sit there and run some weak offense for 2 minutes until the other team gets tired of playing.
Well, my deal is in that also, Drew. Why didn't you press them?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why are you sitting back in the zone? I'm not sitting back in the zone. I'm coming after you. I'm gonna make you play. I'm not.
And
just
I don't
gonna
care
let
what
you...
coach says. I'm running. I'm going to press at some point. I'm going to look at somebody next and be like, "Hey, Jim, come on, let's go get this guy." Like, this is ridiculous.
Then coach is gonna call timeout, and you're not playing no more.
And I'd be like, "Well, there goes my scholarship."
That's how that works. You're not playing anymore.
Coach.
But great question. Thank you very much for asking that. Then also Saturday, Drew and Ben, we brought up something about, and this is something I talked to Rayford Young about, and Gary Vick and I, we have discussed it, about the new facility in Norman, the new Trey Young facility in Norman that they're building there, right behind Embassy Suites there, putting in that little charge line, you know, underneath the basket.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have. I'm like, why wouldn't you put that in? How is that not?
No,
they don't have those either. Nope. In the box, they don't have those.
Huh.
And I'm thinking
that doesn't make much.
Go ahead, Drew.
To me, you would want to have all the rules in place in OSAA to prepare these kids, whether it be junior college, NCAA, whatever. If they go on to play at the next level, I mean, they're going to have to. Those rules are going to be implemented on the next level. So I guess I don't understand. I mean, I get what you're saying, Matt. On the shot clock, but I mean, to me, it's kind of like a handicap. I mean, you're basically saying, okay, because you have a good team, you got to play down to another team, and because they can't keep up.
Right.
So,
right. Well, the whole point is it's the smaller schools more than it is anything, and it's also the teams that let's say like you have a Douglas or the guys who have D1 players on there. Well, if you got a D1 player, if you got two D1 players, and you're playing against a team that has no college players, they're going to be GDIs at OU or OSU. You see what I'm saying? So they're saying that doesn't level the playing field. And to me, it's like, well, I don't know, get better. That's all I can say is get better.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I don't know what else to tell you, but you can't penalize everybody for a few kids.
Yeah.
But is it unfair for them to do that? So that's kind of where we're running into the situation with that. But that was a great question, whoever that was. I'm trying to tell people to put their name in so we'll know who asked the question. But they just put in the question. But we'll just take that. You know what I'm saying, guys?
We'll take
a question. We'll take it. But anyway.
Oh yeah, it was a good one too.
Yeah, it was. All right, fellas. I'm gonna let y'all go. Y'all got things. You got a big day today. What you got going on, Drew?
Man, I've been hard at it all day. I've been over at the rental house watching paint dry. I think.
Yeah. Did you get they got the cabinets in? All that stuff done?
They got the cabinets in. Now they've been painted, and now we're moving on to flooring. So we're just coming along over there. And I hopped up on a roof this morning. So it's been a full day.
Yeah, sounds like it.
There you go.
What about you, Ben? You had anything full day? What was your day like?
Yeah, I mean, I went shopping, did a bunch of stuff. It's me and my wife's 1 year anniversary today.
Oh,
so
congratulations! Is that a year ago? Is that a year ago today?
You made it.
Is that a year ago today that we got wasted in Edmonton?
Yep.
Oh God. Woo.
So
that was a good party.
that was a good time. So yeah, made it a year. So I went and bought some nice steaks. Gonna make her a salad, make a nice little dinner, and then we're gonna go out to dinner tomorrow. But I still got to work tonight. But
hey, Drew, that was your mom.
Yes, sir. What's that?
That was your mom that asked the question.
Love it.
That's funny. She was glad you liked my question. It was like, okay. Of course it was her. Great question, though, of course. But she does understand the sport, so that helps. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
She does understand. All right, guys, well, I'm out of here. I've got to go beat up some kids. Well, I'm going to be sitting on the bleachers watching them do stuff. I'm not getting out there. I'm not doing anything. I'm doing that and putting ice on my knee.
Good for you.
I wish I had some more lower tabs, I'll tell you that. That's what I kind of wish. Wish I had a couple more painkillers. That'd be really, really nice right about now. So that would be good. But anyway, hey, guys, appreciate y'all. And then we'll talk tomorrow. And then, of course, tomorrow we got to talk about the weekend, what's going on there. We got the Thunder game tomorrow. We've got the whole week coming up. The weekend, we got huge games coming up. Hockey, we got some huge games. We don't have anything tonight, Ben, right? We got like 3 games or something.
There was 3 games. Not much tonight. The only thing I was going to say, I'm looking at your Stars. Otters starting to net. I like them puck line tonight. I got them at 150 earlier, minus 150, but I think they might have shot up a little bit since then.
By the way, Drew, did you see the Harry hook on our thread? I didn't see it. Did you see it, Drew?
No, I didn't send it in there. I put it last night, late minute. I mean, I had like 5 minutes to get these picks in, so I ran them in, and then I just showed you what I did.
I didn't get the Harry hook, but that's tomorrow, though, isn't it?
That's tomorrow.
Okay.
We got it coming. I've been cooking on it all day.
All right,
fellas, I'll holler at y'all. My guy Drew.
Let'sGetYourFix.com. Go Big Red.
Ben, he really wears me out with that. You know that, don't you? He really wears me out with that every time. All right, that's my guy, Ben Dillman, Hashtag Harry. Appreciate you, brother. Have a good day.
You have a good one, brother. Cheers.
Hey, happy anniversary, and tell the missus I said hello.
Will do. Thank you.
All right, brother. All right, that's my guys. Love them. They took care of business. And great question. Remember, you can go on Skype, and you can type in the questions. And, of course, we got a great question today asking, what do we think about the shot clock issue in the OSSA? Great question. And, of course, you can contact us on our deal. Just go look online, and you can contact us and send us a message, and we'll answer any questions. And please put your name in there so we know who it is that we can give credit to. So that being said, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day today. Be warm, stay safe, stay